Hey, good evening and blessings out there, everybody. It's your man, Rod Hickman, generational wealth builders where poverty ends with us. Listen, so glad to be back with you all on tonight. Been around the world and just got back. And so super excited about being able to come on tonight, share some things with you regarding making sure that you are prepared for your retirement. Again, as y'all know, our motto here is where poverty ends with us. And I want y'all to kind of understand why I'm saying that. Poverty ends when you understand and you have the knowledge and you begin to apply the knowledge. You may not have the money that you want, but poverty ends. Why do we say that? We say that because then you stop doing the destructive things that you normally do that keep you in poverty. As soon as you start making up in your mind that, hey, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start a budget for myself, I'm going to stop a lot of frivolous spending, I'm going to do ... to change my financial trajectory, that's when poverty ends. Poverty can no longer hold on to you, right? It's only a matter of time before you start having a little account, start having a savings account, you automatically develop an emergency account, things of that nature, right? So either way, that's why I always say that. But listen, here's what I want to talk with you about, because again, just got back from Kentucky. Really had a tremendous time up there in Kentucky. Met some great people up there, and I think we're gonna have some interesting things coming out of Kentucky. But either way, what I really wanted to share with y'all about tonight was talking a little bit about what's known as BOLI, which is actually an acronym for Bank-Owned Life Insurance. And notice how I actually called this tonight. I called this "Is good enough for the banks, but not for the borrowers." And why do you say that? Well, I just so happened to be reading an article. And let me share the article with you real quick. But I just so happened to be reading an article. And that article was basically saying, like, hey, man, bank-owned life insurance is this great thing. You know what I mean? It's just this wonderful product and all of that. Oh, my God, it's so good for the banks and everything and all this here. And so I have it here, and I'll actually put this link in the chat. But basically what happened is this lady is basically saying that while this is good, that banks can buy life insurance, the cash value life insurance policy, right? And the way that it works is they take the premium, they invest money. What happened is the cash value in there is actually tax free, right? So this helps that company on two fronts. On the one hand, if that employee dies, the bank receives that life insurance premium tax free, right? Again, they receive that tax free. And then those tax-free funds are then used, especially with that cash value, they use that to fund pensions. So there is a two-pronged, what's the word I'm looking for, benefit for them having what's called bank-owned life insurance. So then we went on down and saw what are some of the pros of the BOLI, the bank-owned life insurance? Well, it grows cash value tax-free, right? Who doesn't want tax-free money? Who wouldn't like to have money that you can access and not have to pay no taxes on? Let me put this little plug in here. Y'all know how I feel about the 401k and 403bs. Y'all already know I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that today. But here's what I want you to understand. When it comes to the bank-owned life insurance, what if I told you that you could actually have access to that cash value tax-free? What if you could grow your money there tax-free instead of having to rob your 401k, your 403b, and have to pay taxes and penalties? What if you could do that? Would that actually help you out? Of course it would. Why is that? Because you'd be keeping more of your money instead of going out there and every time you hit it, you're paying 30% in penalties. So 30% of your money is being eaten up. Even though you need it, you may have a good reason for it. But what if, let's just say, what if in a bizarro world, what if there was a life insurance policy that you could have out there where you actually have access to the cash value that grows tax-free. Wouldn't that help you out? Absolutely. And so what happens is they also use this because this is what's known as a tier 1 security product. So it actually adds an asset to the bank's portfolio. Now, notice what they said the cons about it were. You got all these pros on it. There's a lack of liquidity. If the policy is surrendered, all the gains are taxed and the bank is required to pay a 10% penalty, okay? And banks are exposed to greater risk when purchased through an insured carrier when less than stellar rate, right? So again, all right, I hear that. But let's go down here and see what the lady actually have to say. Is bank-owned life insurance a good investment? Watch this. For banks, it's a great investment. Why is it a great investment? Because the bank can invest money tax-free or tax-deferred and receive a payout if an employee dies. Watch this. More importantly, a BOLI allows a financial institution to cover employee benefit costs, right? Now, here's the thing that I really want you to see. Can individuals buy BOLI? Notice what it says. Individuals are not eligible to purchase BOLI. BOLI is reserved for banks that plan to use the proceeds to fund employee benefits. Now, there's a reason why I'm going off on this tangent today, right? Whose money does the bank use? They use your money. They use my money. And yet and still, you telling me that a bank can have a cash value policy that has all these grand benefits. A bank can have that. But me, the consumer, I can't? How goofy is that? And that's why I decided to do this video tonight, because I guess if I had to call this or name this here, I would have to name this Mythbusters, because yeah, I'm about to prove Miss Lady wrong, because you absolutely can utilize this. So let me get ready to let me do this here. So I want you to see something real quick, because again, I always like for people to understand exactly where I'm coming from and why I'm saying what I'm saying. So notice here, the question is asked, who owns BOLI? This lets us know that commercial banks have them. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of BOLI? Yep, they basically use it as a tax favored asset, right? I want you to see that, right? But then here, I want you to see how they benefit from the bank-owned life insurance. So as you can see from my numbers here, they're saying if the bank in a traditional bank investment, if they invested $2 million at 1.5% earnings, they would earn $30,000, right? However, you got 20% tax on the earnings. The overall net on that is $22,000, right? So you got a net yield of 1.1%, right? But let's look at the bank-owned life insurance, right? You got that same BOLI. They put in $2 million of our money. Let's make sure we're clear on that. At a 3.5% earning. And I would let you know that most of our policies are over 6%. So really, you can almost double this. But let's just look at it. Over 1 year, it earned $70,000. Oh, there was no taxes on their earning. Look at here, their net income was $70,000. So the tax equivalent yield was 4.2%. Now, again, why is that important? That's important because even though that lady in the Ascent, which is a offshoot of the Motley Fool, even though she said that's not a good investment for an individual, we have what's called the IUL product, which is the exact same thing as the bank-owned life insurance. It is the exact same thing where you can fund either your retirement, you can fund your benefits, you can fund whatever you want to fund with a life insurance policy. And so I know that was a long way around the mulberry bush to kind of tell you that, but I want you to know that whatever is done out there to make money and to save, grow, and make money, we want to make sure that you know about it. So again, want you to understand that the banks are making a money. They're making money hand over fist, and they're using our money to make more money to fund their pensions, but our pensions aren't funded. They're making more money to give their executives, whatever it is that they give them, their payouts, and yet and still we're not getting those payouts, but it's our money. So again, just want to challenge us to change our thinking. If the banks are making money, if it's good enough for the bank, how many know it should be good enough for you and for your family? It's your money in the first place. And so I want you to know that, listen, let's set up a consultation. We want to help you be able to start gaining money, start gaining greater interest. Because think about the interest rate that the bank is actually paying you right now. Think about that. How much are you getting on your money? How much return? And I know a lot of time people, and some of y'all gonna turn me off right now because you're like, man, I don't even want to look at that. But see, guess what? Your future self is gonna be mad at you because you didn't look at it. See, that's the problem. We don't look at the stuff that we need to. That's right there in our face. Your future self is gonna about cuss you out if you don't take actions to make sure that your future self is taken care of. All right. Well, listen, that's my time tonight. It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders. And again, we want to make sure that we help you save, grow, and make money. That's what we're here for. And we're excited about what it is that we're doing. And we want to help every family that we can. You don't have to be poor. Poverty does not have to be a part of your last name anymore. You can be the one that can stop it. Period and point blank. You can stop it. But again, you can't stop it doing the same thing that you've done to get into poverty and stay into poverty. You've got to make sure that your money is growing at a much more accelerated rate than what the inflation is. You've got to. And if you don't do it, then folks, I hate to say it, poverty is what you're gonna pass on, right? Poverty is what you'll pass on for the rest of to every other generation. But I've made a decision, my wife and I have made a decision that poverty has ended with us. It has ended with us. And we want to help you do the same thing. Listen, I'm Rod Hickman. Love you all so much. To all my veterans out there, happy Veterans Day to you. I know for some of us, it's a solemn time. And I'm praying for us, right? Some of us, again, but to all the veterans out there, again, I do salute you. Thank you for everything that you've done. I appreciate the service that you've done and rendered to our country. And even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it is a grateful nation, thank you. We know what we put on the line. We put our name on the line to do what we have to do. And some of us didn't come back. But thank God for those of us that did. So don't feel some kind of way, or anything like that. Just reflect, stay in a good place, and just know we love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. To all my battle buddies out there, nothing but love for you. All right, y'all have a good day. Take care. God bless.